What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we need to be taking a little bit of a look at an extremely exciting new Transformers TCG card, which is coming in Wave 2. It's an incredibly exciting battle card that frankly I should have gotten to earlier. I've just not had chance. There's been a lot of cards revealed. But I told you I was going to do every battle card. I was going to analyze every card in Wave 2. And we're pretty close. But we ain't done yet, ladies and gentlemen. We need to have a little bit of a look at Energized Field. An Energized Field should jump straight off the page at you right away because it's got a double blue icon. When you are defending an attack in the Transformers TCG, you flip 2 battle cards, although if you've got tough, you flip more, and you add the total number of blue icons flipped to your defense when working out how much damage is done. So the fact that we've got a double blue icon here, before we even look at what it does, is incredibly noteworthy. Now, in Wave 1, we did have 2 cards that had double blue icons. We had Handheld Blaster, which gave you bold 1. Yeah, it's for attacking decks and it gives you a double blue pip. But that was kind of deliberate. You get the double blue pips, but if you're going full blue, the card is otherwise worthless. And we got Security Checkpoint, 1 action, 1 upgrade, obviously. Each player reveals their hand and scraps all upgrades from it, which can be an extremely good card. Or it can scrap all of your upgrades and make you incredibly sad. Incidentally, my wife got me a couple of Transformers packs for Valentine's Day. Totally pulled a Security Checkpoint, which was awesome because I needed a third one of those. Go wife. And that was mirrored in the double orange icons. We ended up with an action and an upgrade for those as well. We got Peace Through Tyranny, which, again, double orange icon, really risky card, very much like Security Checkpoint. You may KO your characters, one of them that has 6 stars or more, but then you get to take an extra turn right away. So it was kind of it's a really good card, but there's going to be plenty of times where it's incredibly risky. And then we got Improvised Shield, which gave you a double orange icon and tough 1, which is, of course, the mirror, literally the mirror image of Handheld Blaster. Cool. Well, now we've got another double blue icon. Here's the other thing, though, that should have jumped out at you the second you saw this card. It's a star card. So you can't just put this card into your deck because it costs a star. So if you're playing a 25-star deck, think something like Metroplex or Menasor, you can't play this. Yes, there is an exception. We'll talk about it in a moment. So why have they done that in Wave 2? And the answer is extremely easy. Incidentally, we've seen 1 double orange icon card. It was Mounted Missiles. I was lucky enough to be able to reveal that one on this channel, and I feel incredibly, well, humbled, to be honest. Don't know if that's the best word, but I was delighted. It made me incredibly happy. And that was a star card as well. Hang on a second. What are Transformers doing? They are stopping us playing full double blue, double orange icon decks. Because imagine, right, if in every set we got an action and an upgrade with a double orange and a double blue pip. We wouldn't need to get through that many sets before you could make a deck where every card had a double orange icon. So by attaching star costs here, they are stopping us doing that. That makes perfect sense. So that's why it's a star card and the double blue icon. Make no mistake about it though, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to go for a defensive deck, this is something you've got to consider as long as you can pay the stars. And that is also reflected in the fact that it gives you +1 armor. This is a full defensive card. It's not like Handheld Blaster, which gave you the double blue pip, but then bold 1, which is an attacking thing. This gives you +1 defense, and it gives you the double blue icon. That's really nice. But I haven't actually told you what it does yet. Well, it is an upgrade armor, and when you defend and you flip at least 1 orange icon, you deal 1 damage to the attacker. It is one of those spiky armor cards. But it comes at a price. Firstly, the literal price that you've got to pay a star to have it in your deck. And secondly, it's when you flip an orange icon. So you can't just go full blue here. If you want to go full unadulterated blue, where you are just going full defense with tough and all of that, that's not going to work, ladies and gentlemen. Because the problem is, if you're not playing any orange icons, you can be pretty gosh darn sure you ain't going to be flipping any orange icons when you defend. And that's going to be a slight issue. So this is for a defensive deck where you can, have a little bit of orange in there. It's a little bit risky, but it's extra damage. This is like getting a zap on your opponent's turn. Doing extra damage is good. You are getting your opponent closer to losing their characters. You might even get lucky, and if you play enough games, statistics suggest sooner or later you will, and you're going to catch a character that's only got 1 health remaining, and they attack you, and oh look, now they've taken that damage, and now they get KO'd. And that could be kind of hilarious. Bit awkward that you've got to flip the orange, but that's the way it goes. Now, I should mention at this stage that this is an upgrade, which means it can be removed. In Wave 1, we had Ramming Speed, which lets you scrap an enemy upgrade. We've got Inferno, that when you flip over into Alt Mode, your opponent picks up all of the upgrades on one of their characters. We've got ways, frankly, to get rid of upgrades. So this isn't some magic thing which is just going to stay there until the end of time. Your opponent will be able to get rid of this in some games, and if they do get rid of it, clearly they're not taking the damage. Although I do need to mention at this stage, Electrified Spikes. You see, I've previously shown you Electrified Spikes. It's for Dinobots only, and it's basically the same card, except it's got an orange icon rather than a double blue, and you need to flip 2 orange icons. We've got 2 of these cards. Although, and I did point, when I posted this to the Facebook group, I did point out that in a previous podcast, the designers had said that people kept trying to make these cards. And I mentioned this, and Ken Nagel gave a very nice reply. He's the lead designer of the game. And he basically said, look, what we had was a whole bunch of cards that meant everyone just played blue and defensive with these spiky armor cards that did damage when they were attacked, and it was kind of boring. I'm paraphrasing, but that's essentially where it was. It led to uninteresting design. What we have here is not that. Electrified Spikes only for Dinobots, and it's the only armor you get, and you've got to flip the double orange, and Dinobots generally do not play defensive. Whereas if we have a look at Energized Field here, it's a star card. So it's much, much more difficult to do this, and then it's got the double blue icon, meaning you want to play it in a defensive deck, but you need to flip the orange to get it, and you can see where the balance in game design comes here, and that is wonderful. I'm a fan of this card. The thing is, when we looked at Electrified Spikes, it was easy. Dinobots like going bold. I'm not going to go through the whole Dinobot list again, but just Grimlock gives one of your Dinobots bold free. There's like a million other things that can do it for Dinobots. The thing is, if you're playing bold and you're playing orange icons, there is an expectation that you'll probably hit a double orange when you defend. Whereas if you're going for a defensive blue deck, how likely is it that you're going to hit an orange? Either way, you've still got the double blue, and you've still got the +1 defense. And that is why I think Energized Field is a great card. Because even if you treat it like a blank card that doesn't have that effect, you still get a +1 defense on a double blue icon card. And look, as soon as you've popped free security checkpoint in your deck, and you've popped free handheld blaster in your deck, you're out of blue icons. Double blue anyway. So you might as well have a go with this. Now, I should mention at this stage a combination of Ancient Wisdom and Unleashed Potential. Ancient Wisdom lets you scrap the top 2 cards of your deck and put an action and an upgrade scrap this way into your hand. And then you can also play Unleashed Potential right away, even though it is another action card. And then you get to bring a star card from outside the game into your hand. So if you're playing something like Metroplex and you really want this card, you can have it as long as you can pull off that combination. which does make things a lot more interesting. There is a lot at play in this card. And there are a lot of interesting things. It's a star card, it's a double blue, it ups your defense, and if you're willing to go for a bit of a mix and play some orange icons as well, it gets very, very interesting very, very quickly. So I'm a fan of this card, but I would very much like to know if you're a fan of it, and if you are, what kind of Transformers you will play it with. So please do let me know in the comments section. Go nuts! But please do remember the rule, ladies and gentlemen. Be nice, would ya? And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, and follow me on Twitter at the Wossy, where we talk about other games. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wossy Plays.